This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states or situations.
This edition of Achtung Millwall is dedicated to the memory of Steve Randall, a long-standing Millwall fan who sat in the West Lower, who sadly passed away yesterday. My sincere condolences to his friends and family. R.I.P. Steve.
You're listening to Achtung Millwall, broadcasting from the beautiful South Birmingham. Accept no substitute.
Welcome, thrice welcome, dear listeners. Welcome to Achtung Millwall. My name is Nick Hart. You join me at a grey and cool den ahead of the Millwall versus West Bromwich Albion Championship fixture this afternoon. I'm just looking at a tweet by Dan Wall 06. Today's game either kickstarts our season, says Dan, or the rot and discontent properly sets in. I trust us away from home, he says, more than he does playing at the den. A Millwall side should never be that. So yeah, after that midweek shellacking at the hands of Coventry, who I notice have scored 5 again this afternoon, earlier on, the early kick-off. This feels like a very big game, dear listeners. You're starting 11 for the Lions as the teams are walking out behind me. Bender in goal, perhaps surprisingly for some. Bender is in goal. Leonard, Kramer, Cooper, Sturge across the back line. Mitchell and Luongo in the defensive midfielder positions. In front of them, Turno, Ballo, Will Smallbone, Femi Aziz. Good to see him back. Josh Coburn returns to the starting 11 up front. On the bench, Crocombe, Taylor. Ivanovic drops down after a very disappointing showing midweek. Negley, also Langstaff, Imaku, perhaps unlucky, but anyway, on the bench, Joe Bryan, Luke Cundall, who one caller to the Let Millwall podcast last night said would cry if he started. Well, thankfully no tears for that particular caller. And then Derek Mazusak, who might consider himself unlucky to be on the bench. So a 7-change reshuffle, dear listeners, after that 4-0 loss midweek, a result that should hurt everybody, says Alex Neil. Certainly hurt me, standing in a deserted den at the end of 90 plus minutes, that's for sure. We need a performance this afternoon, listeners. West Brom come to us in 4th position, 14 points, 4 wins, 2 losses. Lions 12th on 11 points, 3 wins, 2 draws, 3 losses from the season. Scored 6, conceded 12. That's not particularly conducive to spreading the lesson of hope. So yeah, he says, Alex Neil speaking to News at Den, says that should be that result midweek should hurt everyone and he shouldn't need any motivation. I'm with him there. This set of players do need to prove something to the Millwall crowd this afternoon, listeners. Not least they've got some spine and would give a performance. That's all I'm looking for. Performance and anything above a draw is going to be wonderful. We were very toothless at home midweek, so that needs to change. Let's see what we get. West Brom in their retro yellow and green stripes turn out, Lions of course in dark blue and white. It's a sold out den, listeners, but one is packed. I feel itchy and scratchy, got people all around me, I don't like it. First run out for the gilet of the season as well. Cool day. Floodlights are on. Looks like Millwall will be attacking the away end in the first half, as per the teachings of the Venerable Bede. West Brom including Jed Wallace, Jason Malombi and Callum Stiles, 3 ex-Lions. Extra pantomime quality. A sellout game. We've had stacks of sellouts this season, listeners. The club can't, complain that they've not been back. There's a false start for the kick-off. Jed going early there. Off we go. In fits and starts on Wednesday, up until the second goal went in, we didn't play badly. In bits and pieces, we tailed off badly after the first goal. Came back at it at the start of the second. But then heads really dropped after the second goal went in. It's a corner, right-sided corner for West Brom. That's something that rankled me midweek. Bounces around near post. Sturge just about pokes it away. They do keep possession on the right. Ball in. Sturge should get there first and does. In for a throw-in. Joe Bryan on the bench. Maybe a lot of football for the old boy. The coffee aficionado, apparently, Joe Bryan. Back in the old days, you'd be known as being a whiskey aficionado in football, wouldn't you? Not now, it's a coffee aficionado. I do remember Benny Fenton, you know, a manager profile back in the early 70s, saying that his interests outside the game were having a nice glass of red wine and doing the Times crossword. And that sounded impossibly sophisticated to me as a 13-year-old from Nottingham. Red wine didn't really feature in our house very much. And doing the Times crossword sounding like something that's very exotic. Billy pressing high. I'll repeat that statistic I read on News at Den, that we're one of the higher placed pressing teams in the division. A league table accounts for very little, but apparently we're high up in that. Latecomers filing into block one, looking for their seats, hopefully. I think the tourist crowd are with us. Ball through, Coburn takes and turns nicely. Feeds Aziz on the right side, ball into the middle, behind Smallbone. Balls to Billy Mitchell, shot on target, blocked away from left-sided corner, dear listeners. That's better, 7 minutes, that's got the crowd into it. Left-sided corner. Smallbone to take. In it comes, in swinger, bouncing across the face of the goal. No one in there. Back heel from Coburn, but it's brought away. Lovely pressing Millwall, good work. Gets the ball back, this is Aziz on the right side. Corner, Millwall corner, right side corner this time. Good start, 8 minutes. Aziz. Curling cross, it's into Coburn. There's Jake Cooper, no power on the header, batted off the line by the goalkeeper. That was a moment, no power on Jake's header, unfortunately. It was a looping kind of ball back. Good start, Millwall, dear listeners. That's a foul on Coburn there, listeners. That's got to be a yellow card.
Millwall fan? You come all the time?
Yeah, I'll do a podcast. That's why I'm talking to myself.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
That's all right, don't worry about that.
I'm obviously from the States, so I just came here to watch.
Yeah.
Watch my first match ever.
Whereabouts?
From Minnesota.
I'm surrounded by Americans, dear listeners.
Yes, you are.
What's going on here? No one, Canadians. Sorry, I do apologise, boys. I do apologise to you. One American, a number of Canadians. First time at Millwall, I'm guessing.
Yes, first time.
Yeah, well, welcome to the den.
Thanks. I was told to come to a Millwall game. So.
Yeah, you got to. This is the real deal here. Yeah. Free kick Millwall, just inside the West Brom half. Ryan Leonard to take it, chips it right to left. There's Jake Cooper. Billy gets penalised. I've always wanted to say to a group of North Americans, I love your accents.
Yeah, likewise.
17 minutes, free kick Millwall on the halfway line, just inside our half on the left side. It's going to be Zach Sturge to take. Maybe Luongo. It is Luongo. Chips it forwards. Jake balked slightly on his run in there. We do keep possession on the right side. This is Femi Aziz. Beautiful little ball. 1-0 Millwall! Jake Cooper! Little ball in from the right side of Aziz, and Jake finishes it inside the 6-yard box. 1-0 Millwall, 18 minutes. That's a weight off my back. This is, that feels like a piano's been lifted off my back. Imagine I've carried a piano to South Bermondsey, all the way from home. It's now been lifted off my back with that goal. 1-0 Millwall. Nice finish. She'll head back into the danger zone. Finished nicely by Jake Cooper. Can't see the replay. It's 2 packs here, listeners. You'll have to see it on your YouTube. Sense of relief all round. We've got, so far, West Brom haven't shown us anything. It's been a good start for the Lions with a goal pay off at the end of that good start. So everything we didn't get the other night or in recent home games in some ways. Good tackling back by Turno Bale. It was a crossfield ball that he almost got 2 millimetres away from it. And we forced West Brom backwards. So, I mean, 22 minutes in, listeners, so far. Good start by the Lions, goal ahead. We've seen nothing at all from West Bromwich Albion so far. And it's been a really bright start. A lot of pressing from Millwall, forcing errors and unsettling Albion. So this is good stuff. This is Smallbone now finding Aziz on the right. Checks inside, it's a lovely little ball. Oh, Sturge with a header wide at the far post there. Comes that nice cross. The quality of the crossing is immediately better with the return of Femi Aziz for me, dear listeners. I'm a big fan of the boy. 22 goals, 23 minutes in. Ball breaks, Billy Mitchell finds Coburn. Left side of the Albion penalty, he checks inside, what can he do? Tries to work space for a shot when there was Aziz wanting to his right. Can't blame the boy for wanting to score. Maybe the percentage ball was out to Aziz there. We're on 20-25 minutes. Jed Wallace, familiar run, familiar gait here at the dead. He's on a run down the middle of the Millwall half. No challenge yet. What will he do? Gets away from him at the last. There was a Hollywood moment looming there for him. Lovely flick header. This nice skill by Coburn, just into touch. Unlucky. The boy's trying a few tricks out there, listeners, which is good to see. Been manhandled, and he gets the decision against them. He's been pulled over backwards, listeners. What do these referees see? I really don't know. This is Aziz now on the right side. Good work there from Coburn, as the man said beside me. This is Luongo, lovely ball into the middle. Cooper was on the end of it, it's gone for a corner, giving us a corner. Cooper was in there lurking again, goal scorer. Oh, he's given offside, he's offside, so nice cross in though. 2 minutes. Ball down the right side, this is Jed Wallace, as you can tell. With a West Brom throw, another long throw I'd guess. We're on 42, looking at 43 minutes. They've had precious little out of this half. A chance to throw the ball into the danger area will suit them just fine, dear listeners. Brightening up, the sky's brightened up. It was quite lead grey earlier on. Lights are on. In it comes. Bouncing around. This is Aziz. Can't quite get away from his man. Penalised as he was on the break there. The man fell over on purpose. He's only got the ball. Free kick for West Brom. This should be the last moments of the first half. Been a pretty good half from Millwall. We're leading by 1 goal, subject to whatever happens here. In it comes. There it is, half time. Good half for Millwall. One cross that springs to mind from West Brom. Apart from that, they've shown nothing, and the Lions have played some really bright stuff. So at the moment, all good for Millwall. 1-0 at the half.
Adobe Acrobat Studio, so brand new. Show me all the things PDFs can do. Do your work with ease and speed. PDF Spaces is all you need. Do hours of research in an instant with key insights from an AI assistant. Pick a template with a click. Now your prezzo looks super slick. Close that deal? Yeah, you won. Do that, doing that, did that, done. Now you can do that with Acrobat. Now you can do that with the all-new Acrobat. It's time to do your best work with the all-new Adobe Acrobat Studio.
Achtung, Millwall.
Yeah. 5 friends in front of me, I'm like, bro, I'm sitting here to fucking order food.
Well, you're going for some chips?
Yeah, I was trying to get a roll, sausage roll, but I guess I'll take the chips. Oh, they're okay?
It's very, the cuisine here is not the most imaginative, you know?
I imagine so. I figured just something to hold me over for now.
Yeah, that's all you can get down there.
Just constantly keep calling. My friends kept coming in front of me, I'm like...
Madness, no. Second half's underway, dear listeners. We've seen a good half of football here. One of the best halves of football we've seen at the Den, really.
Oh, really?
Performance, yeah. Overall, it's been consistently good. So far, you know. You're a soccer fan, clearly. ish?
I'm a
Or
sports
you-
fan. I'm a sports fan.
You're just
I
here for
love
the visit?
sports. Yeah.
Right, okay.
I'm here for the football game, NFL
Okay.
game.
Right.
But I love sports in general. All
Yeah, yeah.
sports, no matter what they are.
There's an interesting day out for you coming to Millwall.
Yeah. Likes us. I love that.
You like that?
I like that a lot. I really do.
It's-
Well, it's
Is
just
it-
'cause you can't make everyone happy anyway. So be
No,
yourself,
no,
and
no.
if nobody
Well,
likes you, nobody likes you.
It's 100%. 100%.
Well, I love that. I love that.
Which part of America are you from? Whereabouts you from?
Minnesota.
Minnesota. Oh, well, that's going to be an unusual sight around the streets of Minnesota, isn't it?
Exactly. That's what I wanted, though, right? Nobody else is going to have something
You'll
like
stand out with that club shop wear here, listeners. Oh, you bought yourself a. What is that? That's a training top, isn't it? That's all right, isn't it? That's nice. I like that. Oh, ball on there. Excuse me a second. Sturge on the left side. I'm just admiring the contents of the club shop. It's a nice training top. And a hoodie, you said.
that. Yeah, hoodie, it says no one likes us on the back.
Fabulous. Good.
You enjoy it. Your podcast.
Streets of Minnesota will take note, dear listeners.
Yes, they will.
Anyway, back to the football. We're a couple of minutes in here. It's a left-sided throw-in. Zach Sturge to take. He's gone upwards rather than forwards, but it's cleared. Ball breaks. This is Aziz. That's a deflected shot. Gone for a corner. Dangerous player. Femi Aziz, dear listeners. We've missed him badly. Let's hope he's got enough in him to see this game out after injury. They won't want to overstretch him. Well, he's a bit cramped, wasn't it? No. Normally this is empty. I stand up here doing this, and there's no one here. You know, today it's sold out. The ball into the box. It's batted away by the goalkeeper. Kramer on the right side. Can he get a cross in? He can. Falls to Aziz. Edge of the penalty area. Little bouncing around moment. There's a shot from Ballo. Point after touchdown for my American guest here. The Canadians have left us, dear listeners. They said they couldn't bear to be near an American.
I don't believe that.
They didn't really say that. They didn't really say that.
When you're below us, you
I mean, they took umbrage. I confused them with a US accent.
Yeah,
Oh dear. There we are. 49 minutes. Mill have been pressing very well. We need to keep this going. So we've got the legs for it for the second half, because that's really tipping the game in our favour at the moment. We still only have that slender 1-goal lead though, dear listeners. So I'm trying not to tempt Lady Luck and her gods of football. A few comments online about the quality or lack of the referee. He does seem to be keen to give decisions against us. Free kick then West Brom. A few yards ahead of the centre circle. They've taken it quickly. On the right. Bender takes nicely. What's he giving here? I don't know what he's given a free kick for there, listeners. A corner. Holding on to the ball too long. What a prick. Corner for West Brom. Guessing, holding on to Bender holding the ball for too long there. Got almost 55 minutes. What a prick. It's going to be Wallace to take it. Still in danger despite the cheers of the crowd. They're over on the right side here. Fired into the box. Shot wide. First shot of the game from West Brom. I reckon Alex Neil would have been livid if that ball had gone in the net from that situation. I know it's in the rules. 55 minutes. I know. Ball down the middle. That's going to be Kramer's ball. Lovely take and turn. Billy Mitchell. Beautiful ball over the top for Femi Aziz on the right side. What can he do? Checks inside from his man. He's a shot. What a goal! Femi Aziz! What a fucking goal, Millwall! What a beautiful strike! Take it on the turn. Beautiful ball forward from Billy Mitch on the chest from Aziz. He curls it in. We've been missing that boy, listeners. I can tell you that much. 2-0 Millwall. What a goal! Goal of the season contender. He's going to overtake the applause justifiably of the cold blow and the Docker stand. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful strike. I'm loving that. A good goal. What a goal. Great shot. 2-0. 56 minutes. And we showed it on the replay there, listeners. Let's have another look. Bang. Curled in from distance, having taken it on the chest. Arrivederci style. There's your marker, Mihailo. There's your marker. That's what you've got to do. Imitate that. 2-0 Lions. Ticking towards 59 minutes. There's a general sense of relief around the den, I think, listeners. That's my take on it. What does Frank Sinatra say in The Man with the Golden Arm? We've got a monkey on the back. Well, we've got a monkey off our back now, listeners. Whatever the monkey was doing on my back, I don't know. But there's no monkey on my back right now. Let's hope we can see this out, though, before I go too silly. Big shout out to Millwall Analysis on the X at half-time. Just praising Alex Neil's tactics. Ryan Denner not going forward nearly as much as he's been required to with the return of Femi Aziz on this right side. He's a much more defensive role, and the Millwall Analysis was praising that, in that we look a lot more solid. I say whatever Millwall Analysis says because I'm not up on my tactics, so I'm going to copy him. I say what he says. I think he writes for the News at Den, the Millwall Analysis boy. 65 minutes, West Brom trying to play a more expansive game since they've gone 2-0 down. Lions have been pretty much in control of this game, no, in fairness, listeners. It's been a really refreshing watch from the Millwall. We just need to see out maybe the next 10 minutes or so, and this game get ever further away from them. This Femi Aziz coming off to a standing ovation, listeners. Listen to that. Justifiably waiting for the crowd. Standing ovation all around the den. Camille Negley coming in. Fantastic performance, Femi Aziz. Ball down the left for Zach Sturge to get after. He's not quite quick enough there. That was a ball from Jake Cooper. It's gone back to the West Brom goalkeeper. Played well, Zach Sturge this afternoon, listeners. Another name to be mentioned in dispatches, I think. Ball comes through. Sturge now is on the left. Not much there. He's cut backwards. Ballo played well for me this afternoon. Nice cut out of Zach Sturge. Lovely little 1-2 there. This is Ballo. He's got Sturge surging forwards. Here is Sturge on the left side of the penalty area. What can he do? What a goal! What a fucking goal, Zach Sturge! Top right angle, a blast, and even a very, very tight angle. That's 3-0. Beautiful goal. Two fantastic goals from Femi Aziz. And now Zach Sturge, dear listeners. 3-0. Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
I knew what's coming. I wanted to.
You've seen some fantastic goals today. What the hell? All the way from Minnesota to see two fantastic strikes this afternoon. That was beautifully put away by Zach Sturge there. Good run forward from the left side and buried top right hand corner. Game, set and match. Let's have a look. I can see on the screen. Bang. Tight angle. Tight angle. Wow. Wow. That's more like it. That's sent the Millwall crowd home a buzz. 72 minutes. Lost track of the time there, listeners. What do we care at the time? Zach Sturge now contending for man of the match. By far, the best Millwall performance overall of the season so far in terms of whole game consistency. I know we've still got comes towards 15 minutes of the game to go, listeners, but in terms of the way we've started, the way we've consistently kept the ball kept the game at them, best performance of the season. It was Dan Wall said we needed something to kick-start our season. Let's hope this is indeed the spark that gets the season going. And you've seen this afternoon what a difference good quality players can make, like Femi Aziz, Zach Sturge. The possession Olays are coming out of the den, listeners. Error by Jake. That's what you call pride coming before the fall. They're balled into the box. It's cut out nicely by Zach Sturridge. They look very demoralised now, West Brom. Substitution, Billy Mitch coming out. Looks like it's going to be Derek Mazusaki to come in. This is standing ovation for Billy Mitch, and justifiably so. Strong contender for man of the match. Probably in the cold light of day, you'd say Billy Mitch is man of the match. Zach Sturridge, Femi Aziz. Coburn's coming out. It's going to be Ivanovic to come in at 3-0. Just past, with about 13 minutes to go. And Smallbone coming out. Cundall coming. There'll be someone crying on the that Millwall podcast viewership. Well, it might ever see if Cundall starts. Hopefully no tears because we're 3-0 up. Well, football, listeners, on the back of one of the most drab 4-0 losses midweek. 3 days later, we're 3-0 up at the moment. Let's see what the last 10 minutes can produce. Football has an ability to turn your life upside down, shake you about like a kaleidoscope, doesn't it? They play really well, yeah, across the whole game.
Number 3, I don't know who that is.
Sturridge, yeah, he's young player, signed from Chelsea. Really promising, fast.
Yeah, very fast.
Yeah.
The kids didn't have numbers. That would have been the number I got.
Yeah,
That's my favorite
yeah.
number.
No, he's done well this afternoon. Ball breaks the 11 with a shot. That's going to bounce through to the 9. Offside anyway, but it was a great save by Stephen Bender from close range. He fell through to the 11, who was a touch offside. The linesman's flagged it got, but Bender didn't know that when he had to make that block. Nicely done by Stephen Bender. West Brom pressing forwards here. That's going to come through to Ryan Leonard, then back to Bender, who clears it. Really nice defensive performance this afternoon, generally, listeners. I mean, off the top of my head, I can't think of any direct chances for West Brom. They've had a few moments of pressing, increasing as they've gone behind, further and further behind. There's a ball in from the right side. Before I go too far, they've got a loose ball here, the 11 from the edge of the pen. Can't beat Kramer. But the Millwall defensive performance this afternoon has been locked tight. And going forwards, it looked really bright. Obviously, that first half goal was a close range finish from a nod down for Jake Cooper. Then 2 magnificent goals in the second half. One by Femi Aziz, one by Zach Sturridge. 2 immense finishes. You'll see them on the replay reels. So both contenders for goals of the season. Ivanovic chases it down on the right side. Can he get a cross in? He's got no power on that at all. It's gone for a throw-in. I personally would say it's the most all-round performance I've seen in this Mill team of the season. And nice in front of a sellout crowd as well, because all too often we haven't produced in these kind of big situations. But yeah, wonderful, wonderful showing this afternoon. There it is, full time, dear listeners. An excellent win for the Lions. I'm going to wish my friend from Minnesota all the best. Nice to meet you, mate. Have a good holiday.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your hospitality.
Tune in. There it is, 3-0 to Lions. Excellent performance. Man of the match in the stadium, Zach Sturridge. Billy Mitchell, I'm going to mention him as well. That was a really strong showing. And I think it's probably time, kids, for a bit of the old quo. Rocking all over the world, dear listeners. Stay tuned.
Achtung Millwall is the #1 Millwall podcast, and we're proud to support the wonderful Lions Food Hub. In fact, all of our advertising profits are donated to them. Why not visit the link in our X account if you're able to make a donation? Or, if you prefer, why not pick up an Achtung Millwall t-shirt from the excellent No One Likes Us clothing site, noonelikes.co.uk. At least £8 from every sale is donated to the Food Hub. Achtung Millwall, No One Likes Us clothing, and the Lions Food Hub, supporting families in the SE16 area.
Good morning, dear listeners. The morning after the afternoon before. Magnificent, utterly magnificent performance. Millwall 3, West Bromwich Albion 0 yesterday. Joining me to consider that wonderful result is show regular Graham Payne. Graham, best performance of the season for you yesterday?
Without a doubt, mate. There's nothing even close to it, is there? I mean, apart from probably the opening game at Norwich, which obviously is the opening game, I think the rest of it has been pretty turgid, isn't it? There's not been nothing really outstanding in anything we've done. Take away the defeats. But yesterday, that was what we want to see on a regular basis.
Absolutely. I mean, we were on it from kickoff. I watched the edited highlights this morning, listeners, and there were a couple of moments, and they weren't really chances for West Brom. They had a couple of a header wide, and I think Bender had them covered, but there were a couple of moments where they've gone close-ish. I think once they were a few goals behind. But I don't really remember during what I would call the meat of the game, Graham, them getting a sniff. It was a magnificent attacking performance. We'll come on to that in a moment. But the defence, I thought, was bang on. I mean, they didn't get a sniff out there, did they?
No, I must admit, Nick, I really thought that is it Caleb Taylor would come in, after the debacle on Tuesday night. I presumed he would come in and Kramer would move to right back, but he didn't do that, and he only changes with the fullbacks, and Sturge ended up man of the match, and Leonard was his normal self. So yeah, hats off to the back four. They were solid yesterday.
The ex-poster who calls himself Millwall analyst made a good point. I think I mentioned it in my live bit yesterday. But Leonard was played, but he was restricted to a much more defensive role, almost like a Danny McNamara. Rather than going forward on a marauding run, Graham. I mean, and that's probably where we've been, fragile. Whereas Zach Sturge, as we'll come on to his goal in a moment, but I think he looked good defensive, but he was given license to get forwards a little bit and combine well with Ballo yesterday. And I think that by saying to Ryan Leonard, his pace can't be exposed when he's not going further forward. So. Plus, you've got the return of Luongo and Billy Mitchell. I thought played brilliantly yesterday. Yeah. Billy Mitch, I thought, was a contender for man of the match. Zach Sturge got it rightly so, but I would have thought Billy could be in that conversation as well yesterday, Graham.
Definitely. He's he's definitely a different player under Alex Neil than what we've seen previously, where he was just to break play up, wasn't it? It wasn't. I mean, it was his ball. Was his ball that set up. Aziz for his goal, wasn't it? The long ball, lovely ball. But Luongo, I like him. I know, I think he makes a difference. And we definitely missed him on Tuesday night, I think, because he does put some good tackles in and stuff. I know we've got Casper to come back, but it's nice to have them three, I think, in the centre and mid.
Well, he made a big difference yesterday. And I think, once Casper's back fit and firing on all cylinders, you probably would pick him over Luongo.
Yeah.
But as a substitute, shall we say, or as a to maybe give Casper a rest or something, he's a great alternative. Really liked him yesterday. Defensively yesterday, Bender didn't have much to do, and that's down to the back line really. So Sturge, Cooper, Kramer, and Leonard. I mean, someone posted after that Wednesday night game that Alex Neil's got to lift the team off the floor. And I kind of agreed. I couldn't see yesterday's performance coming as I walked out of the den Wednesday night, Graham. But it was quite a miserable experience, wasn't it, Wednesday?
Yeah, I mean, it was. But he says something, Neil, and it is a Millwall thing. If we do get a hammering or a bad display and we lose 3 or 4, the next game we normally come back at it. It's very rare that we get two hammerings, and they were at it, as you say, from kickoff yesterday. So they obviously
pressing very well. I mean, that's really struck me because I was at that end where West Brom were trying to they were defending, weren't we? We were kind of at them, no space, no time on the ball, and they didn't really. They came in quite well regarded. They were, I think, they were fourth in the table when we kicked off. 4 wins, if memory serves, and they'd only been beaten twice all season, so they were seen as a decent contending team. And we really made them look, second best for sure. Very average, I thought. They had nothing. Not even with the pantomime of Jed Wallace and Jason Malumbi back. That didn't even feature. And then, he got a few boos, but no one was really caring about it anymore. That's a wonderful thing, I think.
It is. I think the Malumbi one goes a bit under the radar anyway, but the Jed one, yeah, I mean, it was nowhere near like it's been previously, as you say, the pantomime. So I think that's,
And he didn't do anything. It was like he didn't really matter. I think there's only a few diehards that could be bothered to give him a few catcalls and whistles. Going forwards, I've got to mention the terrific return of Femi Aziz.
Yeah.
I really like this player, Graham. I really like him. And again, as we've said, with Sturge actually getting forward pace and good quality at the end of it, Femi really does give you good quality. So the crossing, I think it was his cross in for the Cooper goal that got proceedings started. I think it was the ball in from the right, and I think it was Aziz that played it. I stand to be corrected.
It was.
And I think Smallbone, who I like as well, I don't even know if he got a flick header. It might have grazed his hair, what hair he's got there. And it fell to Cooper, who got it away really nicely.
Yeah.
Cooper looked more of a threat going forward yesterday as well. He was actually making his height count in the penalty area, but that was a nice finish with his feet. So 1-0, a bit of a weight lifted off everyone's shoulders at that point, I think. I certainly felt a big sense of relief, didn't you?
It's so important with us, Nick, especially at home, that we get the first goal. Because if we don't get the first goal, we for some reason we struggle to break teams down.
Yeah.
We get that first goal, it's like a weight's lifted, and it's a different scene,
And we're chugging, aren't we? Yeah. I like Ballo. Just looking at the lineup here, I mean, Ballo, I thought, he's one of those players that puts in a really good performance. Is it like a 7 out of 10 type player?
Yeah.
Without being, spectacular, but he keeps the ball moving, and I really like him. He combined well with Sturge on that left side. The goal for Aziz, which I think you mentioned already, was a long ball out of, I think the ball's almost getting away from Billy, but he managed to find a decent ball forwards to Femi Aziz, 56 minutes, I think it was. And what a beautiful goal, Graham. That's a contender for goal of the season.
Yeah.
Terrific take on the chest. It cut inside and bang. The lid lifted off the den when that went in yesterday, didn't it?
That's the quality of Aziz, though, Nick. And the thing is, we've got to, I know it's easier said than done, he's just got to stay fit. That's the problem with him. He seems to he gets going and then he'll pick up another injury, and he is quality. I mean, that finish, as soon as you look at it, as soon as he left his boot, it was going, you knew where it was going, and it was, brilliant.
Yeah, no, wonderful strike. That's kind of inwardly when he hit it, I thought it was going to go over the bar. I was going to start swerving and going up and away, but no, in it went. The goalkeeper was flapping for it, and the place just exploded at that point. I think that was the moment, in a way, a spectacular big time goal. All credit to Jake for getting that early goal. It was a bit of not quite a scuff, but it was a sniff inside the 6-yard box. But that was the moment where I think everyone started to believe that this was a big performance that we're going to see, and that was continued with Zach Sturge's finish, which a left wing run at a very tight angle there. Graham, he's found the top right hand corner. I mean, that was a tremendous finish.
Yeah, he smashed it in, didn't he? Yeah, it was a great finish.
Yeah,
and you saying about West Brom start? I think we're level on points for them now. Considering,
I haven't looked at the table this morning.
I'm sure we're level on points for them.
Listeners have had a bit of a sluggish start out of the Graham traps this morning. I barely looked at the highlights before I speak to Graham. Good job it's not a video podcast as well, Graham. I want to mention Josh Coburn up front. I mean, he got nothing out of that referee yesterday. He was getting manhandled, rugby league tackled, you name it. But the boy is strong and he keeps giving 100%. And he actually shows little quality moments. Actually, he's got a nice little touch on him. He took a bit of a slagging down at Swansea when I was down there the other day. A bit of unjustified. So watching him yesterday, he had a referee that was not going to give him an inch, and it seemed to penalise him half the time for having two blokes hanging on him. But I thought he did a good performance yesterday, Josh Coburn.
Well, I agree. I mean, this rugby league, as you say, tackling, he's had it all season, Nick. You look at all our games, they're all over him. And I think he's getting stronger as the season's going on. And as you say, he does a bit like a player from the past, Teddy. I mean, he took terrible stick when he first come into the team. I'm not saying he's going to be anywhere near like him, but hopefully he can get through this, period of, he does take a lot of stick. But the goal at Swansea, hopefully, and then he played well yesterday, and his confidence will build off of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not so sure about the Serb though. I must admit, I wasn't blown away when I heard that he signed a new contract because I don't know. He just
that's a funny old business. That one, Graham. Isn't I always wonder whether we're somehow preparing him for sale, but I don't see enough in the shop window at the moment for any serious interest. I mean, he keeps talking. Well, his agent maybe is stirring for Serie A. If I was signing him for the Italian football, which is known for its defensive excellence, he looks like a player you could close out dead easy at the moment. He's got to learn a lot if he wants to make it there. Don't you agree?
Yeah, 100%. He wouldn't last 5 minutes in the Italian league as he is at the moment. No way.
No. I mean, came on late yesterday once the game was sewn up, and nothing to report. He didn't have long, so that might be an unfair judgment. But it's a strange one. I don't quite know. I mean, some of the signings we've made on paper look good, but then they seem to have disappeared without trace. Maybe we'll see Zach Lovelace at some point. Bobby Benicio Baker. I don't know what's happened to him. It's like he got into like a
he played
somewhere.
He played in the under-23s in the week, but it was a scheduled only 30 minutes, and then he had to come off. So it's obviously going to be a really slow build-up.
Slow process. Oh dear. And AJ Matthews.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's churlish to start talking about that when we're sitting 8th in the table. We're looking at the table now, listeners, with level on points with West Brom. They've got -1 goal difference now, and we've got -3 now. So going into an international break, that was exactly the tonic the club needed, because it was feeling really. I felt miserable on Wednesday night, and last night I was cuddling a bottle of red wine, listeners, and I was kind of considering a few glasses in the impact that football has on you, Graham. It's irrational for a man of 60 plus years to have the right hump, because we got badly beat on Wednesday, and then to be so lifted and sinking more red wine in is good for me. I think you're a fucking idiot, really, Nick.
That's football, mate.
We're all afflicted in that way.
That's supporting Millwall, isn't it? It's the ups and the downs. You come out Wednesday night and it's off. Mate. Yesterday, rocking all over the world and everyone's happy.
I had to laugh. I mean, there were people calling for sack Alex Neil on Wednesday night. Like I said the other day, we're around Madrid and we sack managers week by week. Get rid of him Wednesday night, and then yesterday someone posted promotion winning side here. Talk about lurch from one extreme to the other. But that's football, isn't it? Chalk and cheese. I'd take my hat off to Alex Neil and the squad for producing that performance yesterday.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know. I mean, I went down there yesterday full of trepidation, to be quite honest with you, Graham. I don't know about you. I wasn't expecting that yesterday. I thought if we get a point out of it, then at least that's something. But we more than dispatched West Brom yesterday.
Also, when he made so many changes, you always think, oh God, it's another new team.
7-man reshuffle, and you think this is Holloway behaviour, isn't it? Where you're getting like a reshuffled pack each time.
Yeah.
No chance to build understandings. But that 11 yesterday, the starting 11, I want to see more of that. Great to see Femi Aziz back. And in some ways, I think he was a decisive factor yesterday, because he just gives you that bit of quality going forwards, and beautiful crossing as well. So,
and I hope after the international break, I think Doughty's back and all, so that'll make it.
Yeah, I saw someone posted something to that effect. So that's also great news. And so maybe hopeful. What's it? It's the October international break now, so hopefully a better October November time to
I think
take us further forward.
it's QPR, then another 2 home games. So Stoke and Leicester, I think. So yeah,
Stoke and Leicester, so tough games, but yeah,
yeah,
great to see. Yes, I want to give a big shout out to all the North American guys around me in Block 1 yesterday. I was absolutely tight packed into my little bird shit seat in the corner. And I was surrounded by North American soccer fans there yesterday. Sellout. I mean, hats off to the club for getting another sellout, Graham. It always makes it a bit tight and uncomfortable in Block 1 when you're packed in like that. But they were each, Graham, bedecked in gear from the club shop.
yeah,
And,
yeah.
and honestly, the guy I was talking to, you'll have heard him on the live stream, guy from Minnesota. I didn't get his name, but shout out to you, Minnesota man. He'd spent money he had a training top. He bought himself a hoodie.
Yeah,
and he had some other piece of thing to walk around the streets of Minnesota. Duluth. I'm going to make it come from Bob Dylan's hometown, Duluth. Walking the streets of Duluth in Minnesota, dressed up in no one liked us gear.
Yeah, I don't know if they'd made a big effort, the club yesterday, but there did seem to be a lot more than normal tourists at that game yesterday.
Yeah,
I don't know if there was some deal they were doing somewhere.
I know, and I'm the first one. I like my acre of blue plastic seats around me when I'm talking to myself in a corner. But honestly, the groups around me, all from the US and Canada, there's a group from Canada, all wearing scarves and hats and gear, which has been bought from the club shop. So the money-making potential of it is apparent. And, if that helps our club progress, I can't really argue with it. It's all you're doing really is being a moaning old git, talking about having 4,000 people at Cold Blow Lane again, Graham, aren't you?
The good old days.
The good old. There's no future in that, really. So hats off to all of them yesterday. You would have heard some of it on the live stream. Brilliant. Thank you very much, Graham, joining me this Sunday morning, mate. It's a happy vibes all around the Millwall scene going into an international break. Then it's QPR, like you say, in 2 weeks' time. So, fingers crossed. In fact, I'm just looking at there's 6 in the tables. That's going to be a big game at Loftus Road. There's 6 in the table at the moment. So, yeah, look forward to that one. Big thank you, Graham, for joining me this Sunday morning, mate.
Pleasure, Nick, especially after a win. Cheers, mate.
Hi Nick, Glyn here. So it goes without saying that was a much better performance. I'm not going to get too carried away and say we've turned the corner. It is literally one performance when we've just had probably one of our worst performances just a few days beforehand. Certainly, some of the changes in the personnel on the pitch would have made the difference, but I think there was just a huge amount of difference in attitude, and I think that taking responsibility for your actions and taking ownership, of taking a grip on the game really is manifest in Zach Sturge's goal. I honestly half expected him, just because of what we've seen previously, to try and cross the ball aimlessly into the middle of the area. But for him to actually just take that responsibility and have a go was a really positive sign. And we need to see more of that, quite frankly. I've got to say, I thought our wingers were excellent. Ballo, superb, a really skillful player, and definitely, stepping up his game to championship level. You can tell that maybe not quite used to the amount of physicality that he's getting, but he certainly stood his own and looked like one of the best players on the pitch. And looking at the West Brom side, all those sort of 3 lads that had played for Millwall previously, Wallace, Malumbi and Styles, I wouldn't have swapped any of those for our players in their respective positions. And as we matched them up like for like in formation, I think that says a lot. I think there's some good quality there. Got to say, when Aziz came off and Nagley came on, we looked a lot weaker down that right-hand side. At one point, Leonard tried to sort of knock a ball past the player and run round him. And whereas, a season ago or 2 seasons ago, he would have made his ground, it was quite clear this time that he just doesn't have the pace anymore. And I think that's a worry, because what you see when Nagley comes on is that the right back is immediately pinned back, because he knows Negley's not as reliable as Aziz is defensively. And, maybe something like Danny McNamara is ideal when Negley's on the pitch, whereas someone like Leonard is maybe better when you've got Aziz on the pitch who can cover for him if he gets forward, or even Crammer for that matter. The only final point I was going to make as well, I don't want to dwell too much on the negatives because, I mean, at the end of the day, it was a good result, but I can't forget what happened midweek, and I'm still screwing about that. Bender. Some of his kicking was really quite poor. Amount of times it went out for just to the opposition, and then also getting timed out and giving a corner away to the opposition is really sloppy. And then for the second time this season, getting caught making a clearance and hitting the attacking player. Again, it shows sloppiness, it shows a lack of focus, and quite frankly, he should be doing better. Now, I don't want to jump all over the guy's back because he has also had some good performances, but you can't keep making these sloppy errors. And quite frankly, Crocombe for me is worth a shot. I've not seen anything from Stephen Bender to make me think that, he's the future of Millwall Football Club. And I know Jensen is probably a few months away from coming back into the first team. I do question why we're sticking with Bender, unless there's some sort of deal in the background where we're looking to sign him long term. We're just trying to impress him and his agent that he'll get game time with us. But honestly, I'm just not convinced. If Jensen comes back and turns out that he's half the player he was, then I understand it. But we've no reason to believe that to be the case. Anyway, that's it for now. I'll stop moaning and cheer up because at the end of the day, we're on 3-0, which is good. So we've got a little break now. Hopefully, the international break this time will lead us coming out in a much better state than we did last time, because international breaks don't traditionally help us. Come on, you Lions.
Thank you, Glyn. Yeah, let's all cheer up. I think Glyn's right. The points he makes are certainly valid. The Bender situation is an odd one. I mean, I see the same things that you see, Glyn. I'm sure that the support see with him. He's a good instinctive shot stopper. I can't fault him on that, distribution wise, and what Glyn has summed up as sloppiness wise. Those are valid criticisms. I don't know. I mean, whether we're looking to build a relationship with Fulham for loans and the like, I don't know. If that's the case, then maybe I can understand why Bender's being chosen over Crocombe. But from what we've seen of him, and we've only got the Caribou Cup games to go by, looked all right. I had the privilege of speaking with Lucas Jensen at the prostate cancer thing that I did the other day, and he is working really hard to get back ASAP. Now, what we don't know is how good he'll be when he comes back. That's the great unknown. I think he would like to be back or available for consideration at least this side of Christmas. But whether that actually is into the new year, I don't know. I suppose the more ambitious you are, the more you risk another injury. But no, goalkeeping remains an area of concern, in my opinion, dear listeners. I'm with Glyn there. But as I said, with Graham, it's churlish on the back of an excellent, really, really excellent 3-0 win to turn these things over. The midweek attitude is a funny one, and I'm sure everyone that went down the Den yesterday had the same kind of thoughts of trepidation that I mentioned with speaking with Graham a few minutes ago. Who knew what we were going to expect? I didn't expect such a good performance. The speculation online in the week was that, Alex Neil was really having to earn his corn to pull this team around and to, raise expectations, attitudes, as Glyn's put it, for this game yesterday. He certainly did it. Reshuffled the pack 7 times. Now that's great when it works. It worked yesterday, so it becomes a great move. I'm sure if it hadn't have gone so well, then that would have been, as I said, I think, in conversations and live, that becomes Holloway behaviour. So he played his cards, held his nerve, and the squad, yesterday's team, pulled him out of trouble. I love Zach Sturge's performance yesterday. Pace, power, and what a goal! What a goal! Everyone's raving, and the clips online, the ITV highlights show of replaying Femi Aziz's goal, rightly so, because it was a touch of quality that we don't see enough at the Den. But that Zach Sturge finish was from a fairly tight angle, and he absolutely blasted it, put his laces through it, as the saying has it, into the top right-hand corner, and that was a wonderful strike, and an overall performance that he was rightly made man of the match inside the stadium. And others have mentioned Billy Mitchell. I've mentioned Billy Mitch. Good performance, absolutely. But brilliant showing by good young players. Ballo, Glyn's mentioned. Ryan Leonard, yeah, Father Time is a cruel thing. I think I mentioned the other day when I went out for a light run, like walk a bit and run a bit, and old Father Time's tapping me on the shoulder there, because fuck me, it wasn't easy, dear listeners. So it must be tough when you're an athlete, professional athlete, and you start to feel the pace of the modern game. I think poor old Ryan is starting to feel it. I don't know what the progress is with Danny Mack. I would imagine that come January, it must be right back, must be an area that we are focused upon. I'd be amazed if we don't look to make a signing. Look at the impact that Zach Sturge's made for us on the left side, and surely the club must be seeing the same things. Anyway, there we are. And just to close, Wallace, Mullenby, Styles, nothing, absolutely nothing. I think even the crowd reaction to Jed Wallace, as I just said to Graham, reduced really, because he didn't look much yesterday. I've always been a Jed fan, and I know he left for money. Who wouldn't do that, listeners? Who would not, amongst these listening numbers to this show, would not leave Tanganga style for doubling, trebling? Who knows his salary? I think we have to be a bit sensible. But anyway, there we are. Who says sensible works at a den? Big thank you there to Glyn. Let's have a listen now to Adam Wicks. Take it away, Adam.
Morning, Nick. Just Adam Wicks here, just leaving my thoughts after yesterday's emphatic 3-0 home victory against West Bromwich Albion. In what was probably my best performance for me in a Jekyll and Hyde start to the season for us. Good to finish with a really strong performance and win before the international break after what happened in the week, and the other home losses to Wrexham and Middlesbrough. Just much improved, isn't it? I mean, I was saying on the way up on the train, Millwall of old, you'd get a reaction after what happened in the week, and we certainly got that. So it's pleasing to see that's still the case after a few of us were, quite a lot of us were questioning the mentality of a lot of these players. I think obviously some of the players coming back from injury, and the team selections really helped us. Aziz obviously scored a wonderful goal, but was back, assisted for the first, putting some good crosses in. Just gives us that bit of direct quality, doesn't he, that we seem to be lacking when he's not there. I think Ballo looks to me like a really astute signing as well. He's quite industrious for the size of him, but he uses the ball incredibly well. That pass through for Sturge for the third goal was fantastic, and I think Sturge gives us some additional energy down the left that the other two don't. I don't think you would have seen Brian making a run like that to be found and then smashing the ball into the roof of the net. I really do like the way Sturge is a bit of a buccaneering left back. I know he has a few moments defensively where I don't know if it's concentration or, but I think it's definitely a cost worth factoring in with him, because I think we look far more dangerous with him in the team currently. And just all round, it was just much better, wasn't it? Billy Mitchell was really good in midfield. Wonderful pass for Aziz for the second goal, but just in terms of it, I mean, he just literally runs the rest of the other midfield into the ground, doesn't he, with his energy. Luongo provides some just experience in there. Really happy. And Coburn as well. I know Coburn gets a lot of stick, but the difference between him and Ivanovic at the minute, and I know Ivanovic hasn't scored and Coburn has, but the thing Coburn's doing that Ivanovic doesn't look like he's been doing is although I think, Coburn's he hasn't got the run on the green and he's not had the chances he probably like, he's running his nuts off and he's working really hard, doing the ugly side of the game. And, I definitely appreciate it. I'm sure everybody else does, but it's just a noticeable difference between the two for me. And that's the reason why he's going to play under Ivanovic, isn't it, at the minute, I think. And isn't it just, nice just to have players to come off the bench, Negley, Kundal, Amaku, that actually add, we're not taking away from the team. There's still a significant amount of quality to come on, and it's really decent. We've still got Denor to come back into this. I don't know when Lucas Jensen's out till, but I really would still prefer to see him in goal. But yeah, very happy. Great win, really good performance, and hopefully we can find a little bit of consistency now, because we're somehow, even though we've not been that good, we're right in the mix, aren't we? So that's all we need to be. So fantastic. On your lines.
Big thank you, Adam. Big thank you to everyone who sent me voice notes. There's going to be a lot more in tomorrow's show. I'm speaking to Merv tomorrow, Monday with Merv, and then the remainder of the voicemail sent to me will be included in that show, dear listeners. That's it for this particular edition. I really enjoyed yesterday. It was such a weight, to be lifted off us all. We're going into an international break now. We're back after 2 weeks with the trip to QPR, who sit in 6th position. And as Adam has just said, somehow, after this scratchy Jekyll and Hyde season, great description for it, Adam, we find ourselves in the mix. Still just clinging on, but there we are. So, huge amount to be played for in the crucial lead up to Christmas period. So, there we are, dear listeners. We'll be back tomorrow with Monday with Merv and the remainder of the voicemails. Until then, enjoy your Sunday. Have a glass of red. Go on, have a glass of red. Or beer, or whatever you're drinking. Enjoy your weekend, chaps and ladies listening. From me, Nick Hart, I'm going to sit downstairs and sit with a glass of something in my hand. Until the next edition tomorrow, from me, Nick Hart, Arrivederci Millwall. Bye for now.
Let 'em come, we'll only have to beat 'em again. It's the best team in London, no, the best team of all. Everybody knows us, we're called Millwall. Let 'em come, let 'em come, let 'em come, let 'em all come down to the...
Who do you want to watch?
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.